Parents and students of the secondary school, the St. Maarten Vocational Training School, had a mandatory meeting on Monday to discuss the new and improved zero tolerance policy and the reinforcement of the school rules.
They too and you too have to play a role. You too have to come along with us. You cannot give up on a child. A parent told me last week, teacher, I'm done. I get tired of him, and I'm saying you brought him into this world. So if you're tired, what should the rest of us be?
Director of Public Education Glendolyn Davis Holiday was on hand to witness the sign-in of parents with their children before being allowed inside of the school to attend the meeting. Close to 160 students had their parent present, while 100 other students were not allowed to enter the school until they get their parent to come to the school. This is in light of the recent stabbing which took place at the school last week, when two students had a heated argument and one of the students stabbed the other with a broken bottle. The Daily Herald interviewed some students, teachers, and officials on Monday.
Okay, what's going on is we have a meeting to have all the parents come with their students, with their children to school in order to re-register, in the sense that to explain them what's going on, what's happening, and how their children are behaving and not behaving according to the rules as such. I think it was a very good turnout. We had a majority of the people come in here, and me being at the front line with the sign-in, we had mixed emotions and mixed attitude. One parent came in and he's like, "What? This is what the hell they called me here for?" And I was like, "Excuse me, if you don't need to be here, you can go, right?" But the thing is, you have to come because your child needs to be, to hear what's going on. You need to know what's going on. Just last week we had a stabbing right in front of the gate. We have it on video and everything. But the situation is, we want to take back control of the school, and if you don't put your foot down, so if you don't put your foot down, it's going to go all over. We had one particular child, he comes without a belt. Uniform is a black belt. So I say, how much the phone cost that I took from you a couple of weeks ago? He said $200. I said, you don't have $10 to buy a belt? You have $200 to buy a phone, but you don't have $10 to buy a belt? It's ridiculous.
Okay. All right. Okay. Student, can you start off with your name?
Joel Perez Maarten.
All right. Now, how do you feel about this situation that took place at your school last week and the meeting today?
I find a lot of information wasn't given out enough. It was just the basics, but we need to start off with smoking. Students are allowed to come to school smelling like weed, and management knows it, and it's no consequence against it. So what's the sense of doing tests? It don't make no sense at all. You're just going to have it as record, but it will make no sense at all.
But do you think that this what's happening here is a good step in the right direction?
It's kind of, but you still need a lot more explanation. A lot of explanations wasn't clear, so they need a lot more breakdown as to what's happening, what needs to be improved. A lot of stuff is just... The government is not really supporting the school. There are people who want to learn, but they don't provide the funds enough for the school. Practical classes are supposed to have at least 6 hours. You don't get 6 hours practical, you get 3 hours. You cannot do what you have to do.
All right. Teacher.
Yes, sir.
Let me start off with your name.
I'm Dale Brady of the electrical teacher.
Okay. The situation here, as a teacher, your take?
Based on what we saw today, it's the beginning of good things to come. As a matter of fact, this initiative was brought about because there is a problem in our school and we're taking steps to measure it. Basically, in terms of behavior of students, generally speaking, it's not only unique to our school. It's a broad problem. And we are choosing to take the initiative to deal with it for our situation. As a matter of fact, I think today is the beginning of things to come. Parents were involved in what's happening here, and we expect that it's going to repeat on many more occasions after this. Truth be told, I think this is going to send a proper statement to them, a firm statement that, look, we're here to train children. These are lives that matter. We expect them to become persons in life who are going to be contributing positively to the society here in St. Maarten. And who knows where else they will go after this. We expect also that the impression that the public will have of our school today will change for the better, and in the future to come we expect also that in terms of students and how they see themselves here, that it will be a positive impression they'll have of themselves, which will definitely make our school better.
Thank you. Ms. Warren.
Good morning.
Good morning. The situation today at the school, we noticed we have a different approach. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, what we've realized at the school is that the school has been working tirelessly with a lack of parental support. We've been working tirelessly to turn things around. And then we came to the conclusion in meetings that with the staff and the head of DPE, that Mrs. Glendon Davis, that we need to change our approach. We need to get parents, mandate from them that they take responsibility for the actions of their children. Because very often when we call meetings, we don't have them in big attendance. So today, we had to pull a tough one where we mandate and we know, hey, we might get some slack for it, but it's okay. We will take the negative side because we're working towards a greater purpose. We have to mandate that the parents come with their child, otherwise they're not contributing. And the crowd that came today, we should not have to force such a meeting in order to have that attendance. We have never seen so many parents out before. And it hurts me that we have to say that, but it's the reality. We want the best for the students because at Maarten Vocational School, the students are talented, they're academically, maybe not on the highest level, but they can do work. They're good with their hands, they have many skills. We have some of the greatest programs out of the school. We have some students who work in the NetPC department who are great technicians, and there is greatness within these walls. What I'm saying, if we know it and we believe it, then we need a community and the parents to believe it also and work towards it. Because we are faced with gangs in school and on the street, and what happens on the street rolls over into schools, and we're pulling a zero tolerance now as Maarten Vocational. Yet again, as I heard before I came here, the zero tolerance policy. Well, we're pulling it again
Enforcing.
because we're faced with too many challenges.
Thank you. Ms. Davis.
Yes, as you've heard, this is the beginning. From a division level, we are also going to be meeting, consulting, and having meetings with our fellow colleagues in the ministry, also with the minister, because as one parent said today, we have to go back to zero tolerance because we cannot allow our children to lead us. We have to be in charge. Yes, there are things that needs to be fixed, as the students said, but it's a joint effort, it's a team effort, and I want to commend the management and the teachers for hanging in there, and so that we can move forward. But this is definitely not the last. Thank you very much.
Parents who did not have a chance to go to the school as yet are requested to contact the school as soon as possible. And Rick reporting for the Daily Herald.